And your strategic plan, you've got to have some objectives. So where are we going? What are we interested in? Well, the council is pretty clear about, first and foremost, it's about our workforce. You know, when you look at any human service budget, 70% of the dollars are going directly to the workforce and how to do that. And by the way, Mike Maloney is chair of our workforce committee. So if you've got some great ideas about workforce, we got the right person here to do that. And what does that mean for us? Well, let's face it, we can have all the great technology in the world. The bottom line, if you don't have a well-educated, trained, committed, dedicated workforce, all these great ideas really don't do much. The folks that we deal with really need to be engaged with you and people like you, and we hope that our focus and our agenda will work towards doing that. We're also thinking about how we can create more innovative and effective business models. As a trade association for organizations, we know that it's not just enough to have a workforce. We got to figure out ways that we can do our business more effectively than we have before and think about new ideas. Now, what does that mean? Well, you know, 30, 40 years ago, for those of you, many of you were never around at that point, but you know, services, I remember coming in and there was the training schools for kids, right? Everybody that was served needed help, was placed in an institution. Everybody, all the kids were put away in training schools or camps or taken away. The whole idea of community work wasn't something that happened, and we pioneered that. That was innovation here. Well, how we do that now, we need to continually think about innovation and how to be more effective, and that's one of our goals, is how do we do this better? And as we know, with declining resources as well. We also know that part of what we do is a prerequisite for a strong economy. Now, that's a concept that folks don't quite get. They say, well, what's the connection between human services and economy? I don't get that. And what they don't necessarily see very well is that we employ in human services, according to the state reports, 185,000 people are doing something throughout the state of human services. It's a huge workforce. That's a workforce that's 3 times bigger than biotechnology. As much as people talk about biotech, and we appreciate that, but when you look at the range of people, that's huge. And guess what? It's just not around one region of the state. You know, so it's not around the Cambridge region or something to deal with the central part of the state. In virtually every community in Massachusetts, there's human service needs, and human service workers, as well as it should, because we need to be community involved and stay engaged with that. And not only is that helping there, but guess what? We not only employ people, but we also rent space, buy property, help those local economies, purchase and serve from caterers who are in the communities, and thank you for the caterers that helped the breakfast today. But electricity, water, everything that's involved in our business is really helping local economies and local communities. And by the way, those who are employed are renting and buying and sharing and also generating money. So that's one aspect of it. The second aspect that I think is not quite well known is there are many people who go to work every day knowing that the person they care for is being taken care of by people like you. And it wouldn't be possible for them to go to work if they didn't have somebody who's taking care of their dependent child, elder, person in need, their loved one. And they can do that and they can perform knowing that's happening. So we're supporting the economy in that way as well. So that's one of the things we want to drive home. The fourth thing is we believe that organizations need to be financially sustainable. Far too often when people use this concept and they think about our sector, they like to use the word charity. It's a word we don't use. We know that indeed, according to IRS, they look at us as public charities. But when people hear the word charity, they almost think, well, can't you guys just do it for nothing, right? Isn't it all about the love thing happening here? Just about caring? And we all know that that's part of what we do, but that won't help us to pay our mortgages and our rents and our financial, to keep the lights on, right? Or to help you to go back to school and get an education. So we try to make sure that people understand we're a nonprofit sector, but we're a business sector as well. We still got to deal with health insurance, we still have to pay taxes, we still have to do other things that many other organizations and businesses do. So that's important for us to do. And then the last piece is we always want to think about ways in which we can provide services to our clients that are innovative and effective. That maybe the old ways Some of them may be good, but let's always think about how do we care for people better, more effectively, and really meet their needs and help them out. If we don't do that, I don't think anybody else is. So that's important, inherent in what we do here in Massachusetts. So that frames our agenda for human services.